Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of Japa Diaries, a podcast documenting the experiences of African immigrants in the diaspora.
On this week's episode, we talked about being black, the identity crisis that comes with, pledging fraternities, Diaspora Wars, and a little bit of identity politics.
Yeah, this was an amazing episode. I think you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Japa.Diaries. Enjoy! Hi guys, welcome to episode 5. Man, we're moving on. Episode 5 of Japa Diaries. Today we have a guest with us. Marcel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Marcel. Currently live in Austin, Texas. From Lagos, Nigeria boy for life.
Okay, I have a question. What was your original name?
That's actually so my name.
Marcel is having two names.
Yes, now it's part of
actually it's actually Marcelinus, right?
Oh.
So
One
my
more time?
Igbo name is Marcelinus.
Marcel.
That's the full name, so I just shortened it to Marcel. So
Okay.
I've been going by myself from like primary school.
Oh.
You understand? So like my Igbo name is Chijioke. That's what they call me at home, my mom, my dad. But like right from I guess like I just started, using the name Marcel, my middle name since, so it just stuck with me.
Okay.
And it's even better because at least they don't butcher it. Because I'm sure if I took Chijioke here now,
Voila. Yeah.
serious problem like this, so I was like,
Definitely.
You're talking to the right crowd. Yeah. Okay,
I have another question. Wait, I have another question. So, you say you're from Lagos.
yeah.
Like you grew up in Lagos and went to school in Lagos and all that good stuff. Where's your family from?
I actually went to secondary school. Oh, I'm Igbo now, so I'm from Imo State, you understand? But like, I actually went to secondary school in Ogun State. But I did primary school. I lived in Festac Town, so like, and that's like, I'm out of Lagos, so like, I went to primary school there. So I always wanted to like Japa from this thing, because like mine was different. I'm last child, right? So I have like 4 elder siblings. Some of them were already abroad. Some of them were in Nigeria. So I saw some of them schooled abroad, some of them schooled in Nigeria. So I already seen the differences within schooling abroad and schooling in Nigeria. I already made up my mind in secondary school that one.
Yeah, I was long.
Oh, I did long. I was like, I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to do this in this country. All this jam, right jam 3 times. My sister will jam 3 times. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So when it was like SS2 time, I took the SAT.
Okay.
Yeah, so like my school used to do like SAT. So I was like, oh, this exam, nice. So this was the issues to go to America. But I failed, because that was my first time. But at least I got the scope of what it meant. Like
first time for practice.
No more like to get yourself this thing. Because I used to go prepare for SAT like I was preparing for WAEC. I don't know say SAT was there.
Yeah.
So I feel like this. I was not even like so like. But I kind of like got the idea of the exam. Then after graduation, I told my mom I wanted to do it again. But by that time, I had already written jam, post jam, and everything, and they wanted me to go to Nigeria. But I was still kind of pushing. You understand? Then I kind of took the leap that I'm not doing this anymore, man. Like I told my mom straight up, like instead of beating around the bush, I just told her like this that I don't want to do this. Then she was like, oh, okay, let's try the final option. So we're now enrolled in an SAT center lesson, where I was able to like actually prepare for the SAT and stuff. And before then, like I had like a family friend that schooled in Howard University.
Oh, you went to Howard?
No, I didn't go to Howard, but I had a friend that schooled in Howard, a family friend. So that kind of brought me to like the realization of there's things like scholarships. So like it's not just mounts, it's actually real.
Yeah.
There's like things like that. So I was like, okay. So and that also made me understand like there's schools in the US that are black HBCUs.
Yeah.
Because you don't find them in any other Western countries, like black schools.
Yeah.
So that gave me the scope and everything. So that's how I like, hit my family friend up and everything. And I started studying for the SAT. I did better. I was able to get like some scholarship and I applied to a couple of schools. I got into some, So that was like my Japa story, man. Everything just, came down all together. Like it was looking crazy, but thank God. That's why I was able to come here.
You made it happen. So where'd you end up going?
University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff.
Oh,
That's
I didn't know it was an HBCU.
Yeah. So like anytime people hear Arkansas is like, it's a deep south. First thing that comes in your mind is like, Arkansas, it's not a lot of diversity. Yeah. That's what you think, which is fair.
From Festac to Arkansas, that's
that's
a big switch, my guy.
Bro, let me tell you the truth. Like any school that gave me scholarship, I just had to take it because because like all that negotiation with my parents, time was going. So like I had to do SAT and start applying and everything. So
you need to apply pressure.
Yeah.
As long as it came through like this, I didn't even think twice.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how I got into Arkansas.
Dang. So you knew it was an HBCU going in then?
Oh yeah, I did. So let me tell you what I did basically. So like, I kind of noticed that HBCUs are giving scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally like searched HBCUs in the US when I was applying to schools. You know how you see like Howard University,
Mm-hmm.
you see different universities, and you now see University of a state.
Mm-hmm.
The name is like, for example, when you hear University of Lagos, you're like, this is a big school.
Mm-hmm.
University of New York.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
University
yeah.
of, so then I saw University of Arkansas,
You
and that name I never heard before. I was like, I was like, this name is foreign, it's nice and everything. And that was like, and that's like one of the few HBCs that actually starts with University of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only like two that have University of in their name.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, let me click on this one. Their website was fine and everything. I was like,
This guy was going off of vibes. Love it.
Those
But
vibes,
research, though, you did research. That's real.
I was like, okay, this looks real. So that's that's literally how I ended up knowing. I didn't know about Arkansas. Like I didn't know about the states. I used to even pronounce it Arkansas until today I actually
a lot of people make that mistake actually. I won't say names, but I know one or two people.
Normal, bro. Like a lot of people be even like a lot of people gone. Like a lot of people that even got. They have to like force themselves to start pronouncing it well.
Mm.
So that's kind of how everything ended up, man.
Were there other like Nigerians or like other?
That's like it's kind of like when you move to, for example, like if you move to Nigeria, like Lagos, at least you see like a lot of people from different parts.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas is kind of like the Sokoto of America. Like it's very remote. It's very like remote. It's not,
very specific.
It's very specific. Like it's not like you're going to like maybe the Lagos people, the Abuja.
It's not Houston.
It's exactly.
It's
like
not Houston. It's not New York.
So
what's the capital of Arkansas? St. Louis.
Nah, Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
How far was your university from Little Rock?
It was 45 minutes.
Okay.
45 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. At least there was place for us to jai.
Yeah,
and
last.
stuff. So, like Nigerians, honestly, like the Nigerians from Nigeria, at the time I got to school, only 4.
Oh wow.
Like literally, I mean, they were like people, Nigerian Americans, people that were born here, first gen,
Mm.
second gen, but like the Nigerians gone like from Nigeria that actually lived to like maybe 18, 16. We're like only just 4. It was crazy.
Were you guys close?
We're close. So actually, Sean was one of them. Sean was one of them.
The more you know, the more
One
you know.
of my then Olaomi, she went to Louisville High School in Ogun State, Nigeria. She was one. Then another person, Sheon, but that one was a grad student.
Okay.
So and he had like an encore in the school that was teaching.
Mm.
So like literally before Sean and Olaomi came, it was just Sheon that was like really like Nigerian brought up person the whole college, like crazy.
Sean was very happy to see you guys, I'm sure.
We used to, after this, we used to hang out. You helped us adapt, he helped us, show us the way and everything. And he was also in the same major, the same department, because I did CS.
Okay.
So that was really helpful.
Sweet. Okay, so that means that you're an HBCU. There's only like 4 Nigerians going.
Like I grew up there.
So
Nigeria.
I'm presuming that a lot of your main friends ended up being like African Americans.
Oh yeah, yes.
Talk to me about that. I want to know one. So we've talked in previous episodes about like our initial perception of Black Americans prior to moving. What was your perception of them before you actually started interacting with them?
Yeah. So like like in Nigeria, like we know the celebrities. Like we grew up with Beyonce, all this Jay-Z, everything. And like sometimes when they depict them in the media, they depict them as they just look at the bad side, the downside of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very fair. It's fair for like an African and Nigerian to come in and be like, oh, let me be very, very
Let me
careful.
distance myself.
Exactly. So it's that's fair enough. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's kind of like how I got it, to be honest, like but like it was different for me because like I had no other option. Like I couldn't just relate to just 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's not just the fact that we're just a few Nigerians, we're barely any like Africans.
Period. Yeah.
You understand? So it took me a while to actually like come out and like absorb myself into it. Exactly. But like when I started, it started off by like just having that personal, because the professors as well, like a lot were mostly African Americans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it started off by having this relationship with them, and all those things. Gradually your classmates, gradually your roommates. My roommate was actually like, it's crazy because my roommate became very close later on. My roommate was from Chicago. Like when we came, we didn't click at all, not even one.
Damn.
Like I was here, he was here. We're like from both ends of the world.
Yeah.
Crazy that after the first semester, like we became so close.
What do you think happened?
I think it's just like sometimes you just have conversations. Like one time we were trying to like I don't know what we were trying to do. So we actually started talking. Like I think we were trying to like change the way our room was set up, and we just started from there. We just started, as we were walking, we were just talking. We actually started knowing more about ourselves and everything. And we actually, like the shows I used to watch growing back, those are the shows I used to watch. His artists, the artists, different things. And from there, we started learning more about each other. He had a sister that was there. She used to come and see him because she was a senior. So like, I started knowing his family, and like that time my mom was around. Like when I the first semester, like for the most part she was around like there. He met my mom and everything, and like that was just natural. Like we just started blending,
so talking. It kind of stopped being like this like Black American person and more
exactly.
being my roommate.
Yeah, I started being my roommate. Like anything, like we go out, we go have like go to the cafeteria, the cafe together. The classes we had together, we go together. Everything was just we go and play basketball together. I'm a soccer fan, so like I play a lot of soccer. Like I even started teaching how to play because it was fast. Like all those things, and it was just I was even going to spend Thanksgiving with him at some point. So like it became natural. We go to parties, college parties together. You know how HBCU parties are crazy.
Damn, tell me about this because I don't know about this.
The parties are insane. You know how black people becoming like. Also, like even when you go to like. Even how and that's like some things we share in common. Like when we party hard. You see Jamaicans when they party hard.
Yeah.
When you go to Afrobeats party, like everyone is turning up, everybody's big boy and everybody's doing everything. So that's how it is. So like, I mean there's trap music, there's everything, but like everybody goes out to party. So it was fun. Like maybe sometimes you have like a stressful week in school. You just go out, have fun, dance.
Vibes.
Vibes.
I will
see one or two women, you and them, all those kinds of things. So.
Yeah. So I didn't really like my roommate was white.
Oh.
Shout out Lizzie, it's my favorite person, my favorite white girl.
Nice.
But
what school did you go to?
I went to William & Mary in Virginia, in Southern Virginia. And then I transferred out. But
thank God you left that place.
Why? What happened? Did you guys go to the same?
We did not go to the same school. But
if I wanted to go and visit her, I wouldn't even know how to get there. It would have required too much planning and too many buses, and I can only do one bus per trip. So I'm just glad you came to somewhere else. You came somewhere more accessible.
Yeah,
but I was saying like I didn't have. So the black people at my school were. It was a small school, so that means that the black population we were very like close knit. And similar to you, like you have those like perceptions of what Black Americans are like, but when that's your only option of friends, like those ideas, those things, they start to break down, and you start to just see them as like people. Yeah. And one of the things that they really did for me was like coming to terms with like, in many ways, like I'm Nigerian, you're Black American, but like we're all black in the US, like. That's a whole new identity that I had to adopt that I never had to adopt before, and like just coming to terms with that was pretty hard. Like I think that was part of the reason why I left, also because I felt like I didn't really fit in anywhere at William & Mary. Like it was too, I don't know, it was a small community, and I think I was searching really hard for like, you know how you come to America and okay, Houston, everybody, they're plenty Nigerians, they're plenty Nigerians. I convinced myself that I just go anywhere. And surely there'll be Nigerians there, right? Yeah. So I was still chasing like a move. I was still chasing that thing, right?
Oh, Marcel.
It's not. I set myself up. So when I realized I couldn't get that experience, I was like, let me just try and get this elsewhere. But also it was such a hard stark change.
So that's why you left?
That's why. One of the reasons why I left. That, and I was in the middle of nowhere, like it was too much change.
I felt this. That's how I felt. I remember having this conversation with Sean like sophomore year. I was like, everything was so, and that's when I started like breaking my onto my boundaries. I was feeling like I didn't fit in, like it was too much, like, the change was too drastic. I didn't even have like any middle point. Like I remember like even sending some emails to some universities back then, like sophomore year, like, I'm just gonna transfer somewhere.
Yeah, I did it too. I carried myself. Pew.
I was like, just do it.
Malik, you went to Drexel in Philly.
That is correct.
That's a big top.
I have a big thing.
Fancy school.
Once I get a Loyola person on this podcast, they will explain to me that Loyola to US pipeline and why they are all in Drexel. Because what?
I think someone from Drexel goes to Loyola every year to recruit. Because I think someone also came to Drexel. I think someone actually Corona. I think one of the faculty members actually came to Drexel and spoke about Drexel and all that good stuff to get people to go. That's not why I went. It just kind of panned out that actually one of the professors I actually took classes with, he was like, I came to recruit in Nigeria back in so year, and I now put piece together like, you did come that one time, and I was literally in the hall when he came and told us all about Drexel.
So what was yours like?
Yeah.
Like, what was that move for you?
Is Drexel in Philly?
Right? Drexel's in Philly. So you're in a bigger city. You're in a school where there's a lot more like Nigerians.
I think,
What was that like?
Yeah. So I mean, like, because I went to school in Philly, there's a big black population. Maybe not necessarily in university, but the city as well.
The city,
yeah, the city. And again, there's a huge African, I'm not even going to say Nigerian, African population at Drexel as well. Yeah. And another thing is that I was also surrounded by like 2 other universities. Like Philly is a big, like UPenn is literally 1 street away. Temple University is 3 train stops away.
Okay.
So like, by the time the Drexel ASU, the Penn ASA, the Penn ASA, and the Temple ASA get together.
You guys do big parties?
Not really, but
I see,
wasted
you guys will just link up like this.
Yeah.
It's a bit too much.
Link up.
No event hall that be able to fit all of us.
Facts.
Without us destroying the foundation. But so like, I always had a sense of community. I hate to say it to you guys, but I didn't necessarily have the experience that you guys did.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Guys, somebody
I feel that way. Some people, and I think that's why I like this podcast. Like, there's so many different experiences. Like, we didn't have all those essay. I don't know how you guys be doing essay weekend, like African Studies Association. I never did all those things.
This Texas.
Show you this Texas.
If you hear about the ASA weekends that they used to do.
I used to hear about that thing, man. Like, some people buy outfit like 4K, 5K. Like,
Yeah. No, we'll have one day. We'll have some.
You buy a shoe like this from. I heard some kind of crazy things.
For ASA.
For ASA weekend was a big.
They would drive for hours.
Who would drive?
It was a whole thing. So so you had a better experience than us. Shout out you, but I think we definitely all had the shared experience of like now we're identifying as black people.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Because I struggled. I really struggled. I remember my junior year. So this is after I had transferred. I got into the new school. To my shock again, there are not a lot of Nigerians. And so I had a full-on identity crisis my junior year. Like, that coupled with a lot of other things that were happening. And it just so happened I was taking an intro to English writing class. And they were like, write about whatever you want. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to pour all of this like confusion, what I'm feeling, into like writing a bunch of papers, doing a whole bunch of research, like just coming to terms with it. And it's hard because like on the surface you're black. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody cares unless they ask you, and then you get into all these things, but you still also want to preserve the fact that you're Nigerian, because that's still like your biggest identity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You grew up there, you're born there.
Exactly. So like, how do you make space for that when you're supposed to be presenting as something else? What was that like for you?
Yeah, true. So I mean, like growing in Nigeria, like we never thought about all those things.
Yeah.
It's just everybody is the same thing, The only thing is that this one is rainbow, this one is fair, this one is dark, finish. That's the only
my
thing.
color of God. Oh God, I hate that thing. Continue.
So like
fair.
Yeah. That time we are feeling fun, it'll be like complexion. Remember that time? What was that about?
That is a lie.
No, it's
I remember that time in Nigeria when you're feeling full, like when you're
Yes,
listening to your name, your
complexion.
age. Can't you remember complexion? That word.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
like, but it wasn't any big deal for us though. Like it was
Yeah.
just. I mean, But I mean here, like I mean the overall distance, like the overall race is black. Obviously, if you drill down, there's Nigerian, there's African, there's African American, there's Caribbean, there's Europe, there's Black European, Black French, all those things. So that identity, right? Like I always. I mean, I knew I was different, right? But I knew, like, you know, just when time I was on campus, like everybody looks like me, everybody's similar to me. You know, like I'll go to class, everybody looks like me. I never felt like. I think even like it kind of even affected me sometimes when I was off campus. Like I would like see white people because my experience was I came straight from Lagos to HBCU, and the city where my school was a black city, mind you, a black city in Arkansas. Like think of it. So like I only barely saw like non-white people like maybe when I go to Walmart or something. So even kind of affected me. Like I was not even used to them because I was so used to like people that look like me and everything. So the other things that I just knew I was different from these people. Like I knew I grew up from different places. I knew my perception was a little bit different.
Did any of your classmates kind of treat you differently?
Yeah, I mean like there's always that it's something that we see to today. That diaspora tension, you know.
Let's talk about this.
You know, that diaspora tension. That people take it. People are welcoming about it. People are like, you have that. You know, they have this tension, which I've never really understood. But thankfully, I always dealt with people that that were so welcoming to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I can like. Because me, I don't like. I'm someone that doesn't like wildlife. If I see say this one don't be my this thing, I would just take my own to go where it be. So like, that's kind of how it was. So
Abim, do you know why we have that tension?
So I have an hypothesis, right? And maybe we'll confirm this with